Okay, just checking on what's trending. As we all know, technology has a huge impact in our society. It is how we keep in contact with our family, our friends, how we express ourselves, how we share and save memories, how we can even meet new people. But lately, it has come to the point where it's completely consumed us, especially this new generation. Today's generation is all about who has the most followers and who gets the most likes. Their lives are controlled by the acceptance of people behind the screen. People that they don't even know around the world liking or disliking their posts, controlling their actions and emotions every day. More and more social media outlets are coming out and taking over this generation. Almost every kid I'm around, every other word out of their mouth is TikTok this, Instagram that, or do you follow this person? Did you see what they posted today? What happened to, hey, did you happen to see what happened on playground today? Did you see him or her break their arm? Want to come over and shoot some hoops? Or let's go ahead and prank call people after school. I mean, being a kid used to mean being up and out with friends until sunset or dawn. I mean, now it's all about electronics and who has what or who posted what on social media. Schools aren't helping either. Elementary schools now have changed a lot. A lot of schools have different curriculum as they did when I was in school. We had homework and big projects and tests when I was in elementary school. I remember coming home and having homework and studying for my spelling test, history test, my science test. Teaching styles have changed as well. Teachers are influencing the technology to their students. Kids coming out of elementary school are struggling with how to read a clock. I mean, learning how to tell time is a child's rite of passage. Now schools are having digital clocks in their classroom. How is this supposed to help them read a clock? I mean, having an analog clock in the classroom teaches them, sort of forces them to tell time, figure out when lunch is, or etc. I watched a Ellen show a while back where it was the old generation versus the new generation. It was who can identify what. Well, one of them was an analog clock. Old generation, he got it just like that. The new generation, she couldn't tell time. Like, that is pathetic and sad. We have clocks around this world that are analog. Huge monuments, too. These kids are relying on their tablets, phones to tell time, or someone to tell their time. Tablets, man, that is an issue with schools now. Schools are having their older kids, I think starting with 4th graders, assigned to an iPad. Our schools are feeding their minds with electronics and technology. These kids make their own videos as homework on themselves or of their friends, and sometimes book reports as a PowerPoint with minimum writing and mainly pictures. A book report is a writing essay about a book you read, not a PowerPoint with pictures of a book. These kids come home without any homework except read for 20 minutes. Reading's great. It stimulates the brain, learn new vocabulary, etc. But they need more. What happened to bringing home multiplication tables and getting your multiplication right? I remember having math homework, spelling words to study, science reports, and history reports were the biggest when I was in school. In elementary school, they have a lot of parties. End of the year, Halloween, Valentine's parties, or just for being awesome in class, which is a great experience. A lot of these teachers have a point system, and once students get so many points, they can have a class party, which is awesome. But majority of these parties are now electronic parties, where students get to bring in any type of electronic device they have to class and play on their devices. What happened to the ice cream or the pizza parties, the junk food parties, where kids get to eat junk food and hang out with their classmates and make memories, interact face to face? Social skills are key to learn at their age. Their minds are developing and growing, but by playing on these devices, the only skills they are learning is how to remove themselves from a face-to-face conversation. School is a place of learning, and having these parties or giving the idea of being on these devices is good for the brains. Having class parties are awesome, but electronic devices, I think that needs to change a little bit. Many of these students down in elementary school also have their own smartphones, influencing those around them into asking/demanding their own phone from their own parents. Classmates influence each other more than anyone. These kids are surrounded by each other all day and every day. Every kid wants to be in the popular group or the cool group. Kids have the tendency to follow the new trending or the majority like sheep. I like to call the followers sheep of the herd or of their group. Those are the ones that just follow the leader or follow what's happening right now. If the majority of the 5th grade class have phones, then those students who don't have one, they're going to think they're weird or want one as well. That's just how it is now. My time in elementary school, we did not have phones. Phones were on our minds. The only ones with a phone had a phone called the Firefly. And if some of you know, it, I think, had only 4 contacts: emergency, mom, dad, and the house phone. And you couldn't receive any text or send any texts out. It was only a call-only phone. These kids are 6 to 11. They do not need a phone and be surrounded by the toxic on the phone. Older kids are influencing the younger ones and not in the right way. To show off their phone, they tend to show what they can search. I babysat a couple kids sometimes, and what comes out of their mouth is not what I want to come out of their mouth. It is inappropriate, and they tell me that, oh, well, this person showed me on their phone. Well, that person shouldn't be one searching that stuff, showing you guys, and you guys shouldn't know what that is yet. You guys are in elementary school. That should not be on your mind or you should know about. It's just sad. But what influences is social media. Social media has come a long way. It was from MySpace. Then it got better to Facebook, and from there it broke out into Twitter, Instagram, Vine, TikTok, Snapchat, vlogs, and many more other ones. These new outlets have the generation at the palm of their hands. All they care about is social media and coming up with new content. Birthday parties. It went from class parties with electronics to birthday parties now. A couple of the neighborhood kids have been having electronic birthday parties where all the kids bring their own device and play on them. They sit in a circle and play on their own devices. Instead of running around the house, annoying the parents, shooting Nerf guns, messing with the older siblings, etc., they are sitting on a couch, playing on their device, not interacting with anyone. Kids' childhood now consists of technology in every memory. Childhood is what defines these kids and make them who they are and will become in the future. Social media have a lot of influencer. Influencers are big in kids' eyes. Influencers are those that have surpassed everyone on all social media and get paid to post or come up with new content. Their followers truly follow them and do anything these influencers will say or do. A lot of these influencers do not say or act the best way with young people as an audience. Some speak very inappropriately and use foul language that I would not want my own children to listen to or get in their head at such a young age. Actions being displayed by flaunting sacks of cash or showing off flashy cars get the wrong mindset in these kids' head. They expect that's the normal, that's the cool, to have this stuff and be conceited by flaunting it. I don't think that these kids should want that, or I mean not want that, but want to show it off and be conceited. I mean, humble is an awesome attitude, awesome contribution that someone should have. Since they have it or act in a way this generation is showing, all they're doing is following in their footsteps. All these kids can talk about all these influencers and what they posted or did in their vlog. That's all they talk about. They then want to recreate these videos and be just like them. Individuality has been erased and is all about being alike and not their own person. Social media has taken away the identity of this generation and turned it into something else. Kids need to be their own path. Need to be their own person and have their own path and find things they like to do instead of following everyone else. Their childhood is how they find what they like, what friends they want to be surrounded with. Not about what's so popular on social media. But with social media, there are always haters. The haters come always with social media. The amount of hate on social media is heartbreaking. People use social media to take out their anger towards a person or a cause. Social media is supposed to be a positive environment and a place where you leave your mark. Some kids and adults have been leaving their mark, but in the worst way possible. Some do not care who is on the other side of the screen and will just leave a nasty comment. Some people have learned how to block it out and not listen to the comment, but others listen to it and it can affect their well-being, their mental health, their physical health. Some kids have their own problems and see what others are saying and think it's the right thing and go along with it. They'll chime in on the hate being said or start it because that's all they know. They see it happening by having access to social media and having their accounts or devices. Parents think they're cool parents by being their child's best friend, but in reality, they're not helping them in any way. They're just feeding it to them. Then there are the ones that are affected by the hate. Kids and young adults are right in the middle of the world full of hatred right now. Innocent kids that are just trying to fit in are getting bullied online by their own classmates and from random strangers as well. There is always that one perp that starts the hateful words and then the sheep follow and chime in. Kids do not know how to handle their problems face to face anymore. They hide behind the screens and it gives them power to say whatever they want. In the past, if we had a problem with someone, we would go up to them and hash things out or even get an adult involved. Young kids end up ending their life because the social media world told them to. The only world they know told them how to live their life, which is sad. But with this technology world, there is something about privacy. Privacy is a huge issue on social media, from creepy stalkers to predators online. Being able to secure your social media is key. So for those of you who have their account public, think about going private so nothing weird or funky happens on your account or to you. A lot of parents don't know what goes on, or they think that they know what goes on behind the screens, but these kids, and they talk to their friends, and they know the tricks to hide things from parents or to get away with certain things. There are so many predators online that attack those that are weak, the kids that are easily influenced, and take advantage of them. A lot of kids don't understand yet that whatever their screen name is or what their profile picture is might not be the person on the other side or who they're actually talking to, which is terrifying. A 6-year-old who has access to a phone and social media could be talking to a 45-year-old. How is that okay? That is completely inappropriate, and these kids just don't understand it yet. A lot of parents are unaware of their child's social media, but there are some that are aware but unaware of the actual content. This generation knows it's social media, and that is their source, and have their trust with others on it, and end up talking to predators without a single parent knowing, or the kid doesn't even know. In conclusion to this long rant, social media and electronics are all this generation knows. If you are not up to date with what is trending, you are just behind in life in their eyes. These kids are missing out on a big world out there. They are missing the leaves changing in between seasons, missing the excitement of waking up without a single worry, missing the experience of being outside, enjoying the fresh air. If all these kids know our phone screens and tablet screens or even computer screens, they will never have a childhood. Kids need outdoor fun, going on random adventures with friends, meeting new neighbors, and having their time of their lives. Sooner or later, they will grow up and realize they've missed out on the prime time because they were too busy worrying about who was doing what or how many likes they had. One should not be living by how many likes they get or how many followers they have. These kids should not be letting technology control their lives, and they need to start living their own. My dad and uncle had the best childhood stories ever that I've ever heard at the dinner table, and I love hearing them. It just makes my heart warm. It gives me the goosebumps knowing what they've gone through, their adventure. It is amazing. My own experience, I had this one friend growing up, lived down the street from a 7-Eleven. Every night I slept over around 8 o'clock. We would walk to the 7-Eleven, get a King Reese's peanut butter cup, hot Cheetos, and some gummy bears or Sour Patch. Well, we would always walk back and we'd take a different route each time, a little adventure type of thing. Those are the memories that these kids are missing out. Those are the memories that I cherish and love. Those memories don't involve electronics or technology. This generation is never going to experience what older generations did before and never share the same type of memories if they stayed glued to their phone. There is an entire world out there, and they are just missing out. I'm Taylor, and thanks for chiming in to my rant about technology and this generation. I hope you enjoyed it. Signing out.